Glassman, and I'm here to talk to you about research that I did in London with my fellow classmates, and also to talk about why plastic is extremely bad for not just the environment, but your long-term health. So imagine you walk into the grocery store, and the clerk asks you, do you want a plastic bag? And you say, yes. Well, that one response immediately has a negative ripple effect on not just the environment, but your health. About 500 million to 1 trillion plastic bags go into the environment every single year. And if you average that out, it's about 1 million every single minute. By the time I'm done talking to you, there'll be 8 million plastic bags into the environment. So a little bit of background history on plastic bags and their banning, because we should start planning to ban them and tax them. Bangladesh and Ireland were the first 2 countries to start taxing them, and that was in 2002. Then some other countries are China, Denmark, Wales, Italy, Scotland, Germany, and England began to tax it back in 2015. The United States currently has 20 states and 132 cities working their way towards doing this, with San Francisco back in 2014 being the first to actually ban plastic. So the purpose of our study, to reiterate, was to observe plastic bag consumer behavior, see how people in London with this tax are actually consuming plastic bags, and then I really wanted to find out, why is plastic bad for the environment? What is it actually doing? And really understand the effects. So me and my fellow classmate Taylor, who couldn't be here today, we went to 6 different London supermarkets and really observed people. We looked at the ambiance of the store, we observed that they had reusable bags for purchase, we looked at employee consumption of plastic and how many plastic bags people bought within 2 different days. And yeah, number of consumers that came in and things of that nature. So some example observations were at Waitrose, which is a very nice grocery store, very similar to Wegmans. They had reusable bags for purchase, but they were underneath of the counter. So if you were someone who didn't bring your own bag, and you went to the checkout counter, out of sight, out of mind, they're not available for you to see. So a lot of people who came couldn't see the reusable bags, so they didn't purchase them. They should have moved the presentation of them. A little bit of psychology there. Then at Tesco Express, which is a store where people come in and out very quickly to get their food, the employees bagged your food for you to get you in and out very quickly. So hundreds of plastic bags went in and out of that store in the couple hours that I observed. And no reusable bags were for purchase. So how does that affect the environment? So here are the results of our study. These are the 6 different stores. Blue is plastic bags, red is reusable bags, and green is no bag at all. You can see that red is the majority of our study. So the tax is working. The reusable bags in the majority of these stores, most people brought their own bag. So since 2015, the percentages of reusable bags in London have increased. It's been about a 25 to 50% increase. The only store that's worth noting is Prada Major, and they had no bags. That was the majority of their consumption, because people came in and out very quickly, didn't really need a bag. So, moving forward, what if America were to do the same? What if every city in America had a ban on plastic or a tax on plastic? How would this help us to move towards a greener planet and a happier and healthier world? What would it do? So it's really important to talk about the life cycle of a plastic bag to really put this into perspective. So when a plastic bag is made, right at the birth, it is made with hundreds of chemicals that I can't even pronounce, but I'll read some off to you now. We have
polyethylene triphthalate, bisphenol, polythyrene, high-density polythyrene, polychloride, low-density poly something. I don't even know, a lot of polys. But either way, if you can't pronounce it, why are you letting it touch your food, and why are you purchasing it and letting it go into the oceans and the environment? So, and in the production of it, it releases chemicals into the environment, thus warming the ozone, adding to the greenhouse gas effect, and thus adding to global warming, etc. And in the process of this, transportation, to all the stores and everything, it's the same thing, warming the environment. And in all of this, it's creating air pollution and everything that is creating negative, harmful effects on your own body. Then the plastic bag gets to the store, consumer has it. On average, a consumer has a plastic bag for 12 minutes. 12 minutes. And that plastic bag lasts for 100 years. 100 to 200 years in the ocean, where the majority of plastic bags end up. And it takes 100 years to photodegrade. Now, photodegradation is when the sun breaks down something. So a plastic bag isn't made of natural material, so it can't biodegrade. So biodegrading is when it actually gets recycled back into the earth. But photodegradation is when the sun breaks down the plastic into tiny little materials that then fish or other wildlife consume. And then we, as consumers, eat those animals, and we are getting trace elements of plastic and those chemicals that I mentioned before in our own bodies, and we're getting sick. So, through water pollution, like I showed right there, air pollution, like I talked about before, and product consumption, like right here, when it's touching your food and everything, people are getting exposed to these plastic chemicals and becoming very ill. And I'll share some things right now, some correlations we know. So BPA, which is a hormone-disrupting chemical, has been known to cause reproductive abnormalities. Some research that I did shows this. There has been, with BPA, some correlations with lower sperm counts, hormonal changes, enlarged prostate glands, chromosomal egg abnormalities, precancerous changes in the breast and prostate. So just to name a few things that BPA, made from plastic bags, touching your own food, is creating in your own bodies. Lead and mercury, also in plastic bottles, plastic bags, etc. Birth defects in the male sex organs, early signs of puberty in girls, breast enlargements in young men, reduction in female fertility, and learning disabilities. So, how does all of this affect the human lifespan? How does this affect human health? How does this affect the Earth's health? And if we're living on this planet and we're creating this environment for ourselves to live in, how can we make an effective change? However, plastic has only been around since the 1950s. So how do we really know who's actually doing this? The only true way to know that plastic is doing these things is if we were to do a true experiment, a controlled experiment, one where we put someone in a perfect, pristine environment, expose them to plastic, and said, okay, now we can tell this plastic is actually affecting you this way. That's completely unethical. We can't do that to someone. But based on all these studies that have been coming out, we can look at the Earth and we can look at the environment, we can look at the animals and see what it's doing to them and learn from them. So, a little warning to you, if we continue to consume plastic at the rate that we do, and the rate that we are, by 2050, there's going to be more plastic in the oceans than fish. So, people need to start taking responsibility for their actions and making simple changes. So, let us move forward into a more sustainable future. Rethink what you're doing. Make the move to a reusable bag. Very simple. Put it in your car, put it in your backpack. Bring a reusable cup. Refuse. When the person at the clerk asks you if you want a reusable bag, if you want a plastic bag, you say no. As social stigmatizing as that is, just say no. Reduce your consumption. Reuse if you have to get one.
I am also guilty. I sometimes get a plastic bag because I forget my reusable bags. So reuse if you have to get it and recycle. Don't throw it in the trash, recycle. Thank you.